In King of Game Night, players experience the highs and lows of hosting and attending the local board game night. During the game, players acquire games from their local store, back games on crowdfunding, create beautiful shelves in their game library, cull and trade their collection, upgrade their components, get expansions for their games, and clean their house before they host a game night. Whoever prepares the best and strikes at the right time will bring the most fun to game night and be named the King of Game Night. So how do you win King of Game Night? The player at the end of the game with the most crowns wins the game. How do you get crowns? Crowns can be earned in 4 ways: by bringing the most fun to game night, by creating the best collection of games, by fulfilling your role within the game group, or by being recognized for your cleanliness. In King of Game Night, players have a worker that they can send to one of 7 different locations per turn. Each of these locations contains 2 important elements: a King of the Hill track and a unique action. The King of the Hill track not only earns you crowns at the end of the game, but also provides enhanced actions during the game. For example, at the upgrade location, a player takes an upgrade card and puts it into their hand to use later in the game. However, if the player has moved up the King of the Hill track, the player may view 3 cards and decide which one they want to keep. Each location has abilities that increase as the players move up each King of the Hill track. How does a player move up the King of the Hill tracks to increase their abilities? In the same way every serious board gamer moves up their own personal respect tracks, by bringing games to their local game night and by adding games to their shelves. In King of Game Night, players will purchase games from the store or back them through crowdfunding. Games in a player's hand don't do them much good. They need to get them onto their shelves. When a player adds a card to their shelf, they are in turn adding game mechanisms to their collections. Each game is made up of 1, 2, or 3 game mechanisms. Each of the 7 locations represents a unique game mechanism, including deck building, dice, tableau, set collection, engine building, bag building, and area control. As a player adds games to their shelf, they move up 1 on the King of the Hill track for each of the icons added to the player's collection. Though putting a game into a player's collection is nice, players want more. They want people to play and love their games. Central to King of Game Night is the Game Night location. At the Game Night location, players can call together a game night. During a game night, players all bring 1 game. They then invite people to come to game night. Once everyone is ready, players reveal who showed up to game night and which game they brought. Just like the games, people at game night have game mechanism icons on their cards. For the guests at game night, these icons represent the types of game they want to play at game night. Once all players and cards are revealed, players count up who brought the most fun to game night by seeing whose game appealed to the most people. Not only does that player get the satisfaction of bringing the most fun to game night, but they get to move up the fun track. Each time a player moves up the fun track, they earn crowns toward end game victory. The game ends when a player has finished the fun track. The amount of fun needed to end the game changes depending on the player count. For example, in a 4-player game, a player must move up 4 times on the fun track to end the game. Once someone ends the game, players compare their game collections to see if their collection deserves respect. Players count up the icons in their collections and receive crowns for having unique sets of all 7 icons, having multiples of 5 of any icon, or players lose a crown for every icon they do not have in their collection. Additionally, players can receive crowns for fulfilling their assigned role for their local board game group, or for being the cleanest, something everyone appreciates. King of Game Night is a fast-paced, interactive game with limited downtime that plays in around an hour. King of Game Night draws on familiar game mechanisms like worker placement, set collection, and even area control. King of Game Night then combines these mechanisms in a unique way that is both accessible to new players while allowing more seasoned board gamers to develop their own unique strategies.